Hey guys, my name is Anya Kuverzina and I'm an illustrator represented by the Bright Agency. Today I would like to talk to you about 5 main mistakes that beginner illustrators make. I spent over 10 years trying to become a successful illustrator, and I had to figure out the hard way what works and what doesn't work. But the good news is that you don't have to repeat my mistakes, and that means that your journey to being successful in illustration will be so much shorter. So let's get started with the mistake number 1. And the first mistake is just drawing whatever comes to your mind and not having the right work in your portfolio. There are 3 main markets in illustration. It's art licensing, children's books, and editorial. For each of these different markets, you need to have completely different range of works in your portfolio. A portfolio for greeting cards would look absolutely different from a portfolio for children's book illustration. And of course, it's okay when you're starting out to try different routes and find out which of the markets you really want to work in. But it's still a good idea to try and narrow your interest down as much as possible and just choose one market at a time. This way you can make yourself a list of artworks and themes that have to be present in your portfolio, and you will not waste any time drawing artwork that's just not relevant to your clients. And if you want to know what is it that you need to draw for each of these different markets, then a good idea is to do some research. You can do that by going to different bookshops or retail stores and looking at what sort of themes and subjects are there on the products, books, and in magazines and newspapers. For example, you will find that in children's books, there's a lot of children being portrayed. So in your portfolio, you must show children who are doing different activities and expressing different emotions. That will be completely different for, say, a greeting card portfolio. For an art licensing portfolio, you might have to include florals, patterns, and lettering. The second mistake is to keep changing your style, thinking that your work is not good enough. So, as a rule of thumb, you should have at least 10 to 15 different artworks in your portfolio before you can approach a client or an illustration agency. And they should all be in one recognizable style, hopefully the style that you love doing. Your work should also show that you're capable of working in different compositions, your color choices are spot on, and you can draw a character from different angles and in different poses. But many beginner illustrators fall into a trap of thinking that if they're not getting any commissions, then their style is to blame. And then they think that if they change the style, then the commissions and clients will come. So people start learning all the different software that's available, learning how to draw in vectors, in watercolors, in colored pencils. They try anything and see which style gets more popular. And I did that myself for many years, and I figured out that that was not the right approach. So it's a much better idea to get really confident in one specific style, and it can be anything. You don't have to learn some complicated software or 3D art. If you just enjoy doing watercolor illustrations, get really good at doing watercolor illustrations, and then you can find the right clients for your work. It would be better to invest this time into the promotion of your work rather than learning new skills. By the way, how are you finding these first tips so far? Please let me know by liking this video if you find it useful and sharing it with your friends, and also subscribing to my channel. Make sure that you click the notifications on so that you get notified about all the new videos about illustration and drawing from me. The third big mistake is not taking part in illustration competitions. When I was starting out, I didn't feel like it was really important to take part in any competitions. I thought that it was some kind of extra thing that I don't have to do, and I felt that I was not going to win it anyway, so there was no point in even trying. But now I'm realizing, even when I'm working full-time as an illustrator, I'm realizing how important those competitions really are. If you have on your profile that you are shortlisted for an illustration competition or you've won an illustration competition, that really raises your chances of being commissioned by serious clients. And this is what you want, because that way you will get more money. Working on competition briefs is really beneficial. First of all, you will create extra work for your portfolio. And second of all, it's an excellent promotional opportunity. One of the best illustration competition that I can recommend is Bologna Children's Book Fair illustration competition. And also you can try Victoria and Albert Museum illustration competition and World of Illustration Awards by Association of Illustrators. If you want to know the complete list of illustration competitions for 2021, then make sure you click on the link in the description, because I have written a blog post listing all of those different competitions for you guys to follow. Now, mistake number 4. And that will talk about self-promotion for illustrators. There is a belief among beginner illustrators that if they just start an Instagram page and they start posting some work on it and they write in the description that they're an illustrator, then the clients will be able to find them on Instagram and then commission them. And although I'm not saying that it's impossible, but Instagram is such a competitive place right now that it's almost impossible to get your commissions, stable commissions, this way. So unless you are really good at social media marketing, it's something you studied, it's something you really enjoy, then don't put all your efforts into just Instagram. I did that mistake myself. I would make some artwork and post it on Instagram thinking that that is it. I have done all my promotion. It's out there and people can see it. I would put lots of hashtags under each post, hoping that I will get discovered. But the reality is that clients are not going to spend ages looking through hashtags on Instagram trying to find your work. And there are much better ways of reaching out to the clients and showing your work to different people. For example, you can email the clients directly or call them. And I know it sounds a bit more scary than just posting a picture on social media, but trust me, it's going to work much better. To get a list of clients' emails for each of the different industries in illustration, you can buy a directory from Association of Illustrators, or you can buy it from such companies as Bikini Lists that specialize in making directories of different illustration clients. And now for the mistake number 5. And mistake number 5 is not knowing what your style is and adapting your style to please the clients. This is something I did when I was starting out, and I actually feel really like a lot of shame for doing that, because sometimes when I was starting out, the clients would come to me and they would say, "Oh, can you do this work in this style? That's what we really like." And I would say, "Yeah, sure," because the reality was I needed the money, and even though I didn't want to do the work in that style, I felt like, well, I have to do it. I have no choice. In the end, I would end up creating a design in that style that I didn't particularly like. And I wouldn't be able to even put that work into my portfolio because that's not the style I wanted to work in. Clients didn't come to me because they wanted my unique style. They just wanted anybody who can do the work in the style that they need. A much better way of approaching commissions is to spend some time to really hone and develop your personal style. And then try to market this style to some suitable clients. You want the clients to come to you because they really love your work and they want to see what you can come up with as an artist. Do you see the difference? This way of working will bring you so much fulfillment. And this is it. These are the 5 main mistakes, 5 common mistakes that beginner illustrators make. I really hope that you found this video useful. If you have any questions, then sure, let me know in comments and I will do my best to answer them. And also please subscribe to my channel. Like this video if you haven't already, and I will see you next week.